All right, so Wazza, tell us, mate, what have you been riding most of the weekend? What was your favourite pick?
GASGAS 350.
How come? What suits it about you?
I normally ride a CRF 450, and it's an older model, and it's peaky, and it's hard to ride, and I'm not getting any younger, and I find this 350 just beautiful.
Nice.
And it might be something I've got to go have a go at.
Nice. And so single track stuff, hills, that kind of thing, it's all good on that bike?
Look, it's probably a bit heavy. I'd probably be better off on a 250, but I'm sort of used to the power. So it's the 350's got plenty of power, linear power, not like the 450 I've been used to.
And you're quite clean somehow, if everyone else here is almost black. Well, how's this possible?
Because I'm in conservation mode. I used to ride harder, but not anymore. So you got to realise your limitations, and this 350 is just beautiful. So I'm enjoying it.
There's no pressure. Right, Carlos, tell us, mate, pick of the bikes this weekend, having gone back and forth on all of them.
252 stroke, mate's my pick.
How come?
Feel at home on it.
What do you normally ride? What's at home?
252 stroke.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what's...
Since I've been on a bike, so.
Yeah, and what single track, hills, down...
Single track, yeah.
Yeah.
Single track's my favourite, yeah.
And in regards to the bike, feel like it's more agile than the 300, not as
Yeah,
hard
maybe
to...
a little bit more agile, but you can just throw anything at it. It's great. Really easy to ride.
Not a four-stroke guy?
No.
Fair enough.
Stroke for life.
Right now, Brendo, after 2 days of riding, what is your pick of the GASGAS?
I'd probably go a 300, but because I ride one of those anyway. I've been trying the other 4 strokes, and I like the 250.
Yeah,
In the
okay.
single stuff.
Okay.
In the wide open, not so much, but in the tight single stuff, definitely the 250's been good. I was surprised. Never would have thought, riding a 250 with my weight would be any good, but it's been good.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're 6 foot something and, on the more masculine side, let's put it that way, but 250F still gets you up and down hills, all that kind of stuff, fine?
Yeah, those, not the long, like the mine tracks and that's, you got to drop a few gears to get up, but in these tight singles, you're just revving a bit higher and it goes fine.
Cool. And
lugging the weight up, no problem.
And how you finding all the single track? It's a lot. Is it too much? It's enough, or is it all right?
This is magic. This stuff. This is awesome. Yeah.
And you're also pretty clean, mate. Staying out of the mud.
Raining.
It's cleaning you. Righto, Nick. 2 days in, and what have you settled on bike-wise?
Sort of gone for a familiar favourite, the 350. Spent a lot of time yesterday on the 300 and the 252 stroke. Love them both. Can't decide on either one, but the 350 just felt like home for me. So it's a bit of a toss-up between the 350 and 300, but yeah, as I said, I've settled on the 350 just because it's so familiar. I've got one at home and understand where, more or less where it's going to track and how it's going to behave in the cracking conditions we've had here the last 2 days.
Perfect. And tracks, lots of single track. You like the single track or the fast, flowy, jumpy stuff, or that horrible, hard stuff Grabbo dragged us up yesterday?
Yeah, Grabbo probably literally dragged me up. I think the best thing about it's been a real mix. So we've had the really good tight single track, we've had flowy single track, we've had really fast open fire trail stuff with some good jumps. So I think there's been a really good mix. So it sort of caters for the whole group as to what they'd like to ride.
All right, John, so tell us, mate, first off, where do you come from?
I come from Robe in the bottom of South Australia.
Cool. And you've never been to the Blue Mountains before?
Not on a motorbike, no.
Cool. Tell us, favourite bike of the bunch after 2 days?
It's a bit cool. I've never been on the 250 or the 300 two-strokes. It's something new. Loving them. I think the fours are, because I ride KTM, the 4-strokes feel a bit heavy compared to the Katos, but I'm loving that little 2-stroke.
If you had to go home with one, would it be a 250 or 300?
Probably the 300, I reckon.
How come?
Because of the power.
Yeah.
More ponies.
Yeah, and it means you can lug it kind of uphill, all that kind of stuff, taller gears.
I'm used to it, like 4-stroke, so a bit more bigger power.
Yeah.
But definitely.
Righto, Angus, tell us, mate, 2 days of riding, you've been up the front of the pack. What's your favourite bike?
For this riding, it's a challenge between the two 250s, probably a 252 stroke. Spent all of yesterday on it and it's comfortable and it was good for the harder enduro sections, popping up rocks and logs and Bit of time on the 254 stroke this morning, and it was easy to ride in the tight stuff. And yeah, 300 was a little bit much for me.
And tell us, yesterday in that kind of hard enduro stuff that Grabbo took us up, challenging but still like makeable, kind of feel that you accomplished something?
Oh, awesome to get up it. It's stuff that you'd never point your bike at it if you were out riding yourself. But when we were there, you had to do it, and it was bloody good to get up it. But yeah, challenging ride, but no, it was good.
All right, Ben. 2 days of riding. Pick your favourite bike.
I have to be the 300 easily.
And how come?
Easy. Well, the bike itself, I find that it's really easy to get involved with. You can be part of the bike. The bike runs well. It drives itself well. It's got plenty of torque. It doesn't need a lot of revs to do it. It doesn't seem to tire me out as easy as some of the bigger bore 4-strokes either.
And so where would you spend most of your time riding a 300 if you were to take it home? What kind of terrain would you ride on that with that bike?
Very similar terrain to this, although we haven't quite got the hills or the rocks that this area has. Although now that I've found a bike that is able to do that, I'm more encouraged to do so.
All right, Lockie, tell us, mate, a couple of days on all the GASGAS bikes. Which one is your pick?
Mate, I have to say it's a clear winner for me. It's the 300.
And how come?
I don't know. I think it's got enough power for me. It's perfect through this sort of terrain, and I'm not used to 2-strokes. And throwing the leg over it was it felt pretty natural coming off a 4-stroke. So.
Okay, so you're riding 4-strokes at home mostly, but what do you like about the 2-stroke motor, suspension? What is it that you like about it, or agility?
I think the agility and also the power delivery through some of that tight stuff. Once you get used to the differences in between the 4 and 2, I think that the 2-strokes is perfect for this type of trail riding. So.
All right, Chris, that's 2 days on the full GASGAS range. Which bike would you like to take home?
254 stroke.
How come?
Light, nimble, very torquey motor for a small capacity bike, and plush handling. Nice for an old fella.
Where would you kind of ride that 254 stroke if you were to take it home? What
Look, I think
terrain?
it's probably more suited to tighter riding, but in saying that, we've done a lot of forestry 4-wheel drive tracks, big erosion jumps. Like, it handles a lot. Surprising amount of torque for a small engine.